Well, ladies and gentlemen, so today we are going to be doing fifth lord in the second house. And what happens when planet that controls the fifth house in your horoscope is sitting in the second house? And before I even get started, if you want to know where your planets are placed and where your fifth lord is placed, for that, check out the links here and check out my full astrological report, including my books, Astrology, Conjunction, and Aspects of the Speed of Light, where you'll get all the information of astrology. And on page 37 of the report, it'll tell you exactly where your fifth house lord is placed, and so you can come back to my YouTube videos and get the reference through them. So, fifth lord in the second house. Well, what is a fifth lord? Fifth house actually is a house of children, house of education, like your undergrad education, house of romance, fun, playing games. It's a house of self-expression, creative self-expression, because it's third from the third, which is the actual house of creativity. So it's a higher self of that house. It is also the house of Purva Punya Bhava, meaning your past life deeds into this life. And that's what this house also represents. It represents learning ancient text. Okay, it's a house of speculative business. Anything that, any business that does not give you a definite amount every day, how much you're going to make. You can make $1, you can make $1 million each, and every day will like fluctuate. That's what a speculative business is, like stock market, you know, like sports betting, any kind of betting, any kind of like entertainment business, because you don't know if your movie or your play is going to make a lot of money or just a little money. So that's what fifth house is. And second house is a house of your values, what you value in this life, what you earn in this life. It's a house of earning, source of wealth, source of, money, your income. It is also the house of family, because family is your very first source of income and money, because your parents give you money. Your siblings, parents, older siblings give you money. It's a house of your family lineage, family culture, family's roots. Okay. So when this lord goes into the second house, shows that one makes money through speculative business, one earns their money through artistic pursuits, through entertainment, through artistic self-expression. It also shows that their work becomes very fun. Their work becomes this passion for them. Why? Because the second house is 10th from the fifth house, meaning it becomes a vocation, the career of the fifth house. So whatever you do will involve fun, will involve, speculative business, will involve, doing hobbies and passion of your life. And this also shows that your children may also become a source of your income. Your children may become source of your career, meaning that later on in life, your children might actually provide you with money. Your children may follow your career and may actually make your career as their career. And you're very much involved with children. Your source of income may actually also be derived through children, meaning that you may get inspired creatively through your children, and then you do something, you write a children's book, you do any speculative business of clothing with children, and that provides you your income. So any involvement with hobbies and fun and just doing creative things becomes a source of earning for these people, no matter if it's art, even stockbroking or becoming a stockbroker, sports betting becomes fun. It becomes their passion. So this is actually a very good placement for the fifth house, because your source of income is becoming your source of self-expression. Now, depending upon what planet rules the fifth house and sits in the second house, will have different type of impact on your earnings and impact on your wealth. So let's say if Sun controls your fifth house and Sun goes into the second house, really shows you will derive your income through father, through family lineage, through following family's heritage, and at the same time you may actually derive your income through any creative pursuits, because Sun is actually your personality, your soul, and being in the sign of Taurus in the second house really shows somebody who can be a great artist, a great singer, somebody who has this dynamic personality that comes through the family, comes through the help of family. So Sun really helps that, and also it shows that the person follows their father's footsteps, may follow their father's profession in life. And Sun in the fifth house ruler also shows political discussions, also shows political arena. In the second house really shows that one has the voice of authoritativeness, one has a speech style to be a very authoritative in the political arena. So it's very good for being in any kind of creative or political arena with this placement. Let's say if Moon controls your fifth house. If Moon controls your fifth house and Moon sits in the second house, what this shows is that Moon here shows that you're emotionally attached to your children and you're emotionally attached to your career. Whatever you do, you're going to be emotionally attached with your self-expression. And the thing is, these people become quite emotional about dealing with children and dealing with family. Okay, but at the same time, this kind of Moon really shows that somebody who can take a leadership role in family and who actually saw their own mother take a leadership role, and through that they guide their children, meaning that they might be a bit more strict with their children. They might be very aggressive towards how they raise their children. And at the same time, though, this can represent somebody who's very good in things like singing, especially it's in a nakshatra of Brahni, which is ruled by Venus, or somebody who's very good at managing family's wealth, somebody who's very good at taking care of and nourishing their own family, meaning that your kids may become your career. So a lot of housewives are seen with this kind of a placement where they take upon their children and raising children as their career, as their own business, and that becomes their livelihood. So, and there's nothing wrong with that, but that's what Moon does, and it just really emotionally keeps you attached in that fifth and second axis, which is family and children. Okay, let's say Mercury controls your fifth house. And Mercury goes into the second house, shows that one will derive their income through imaginative thinking, not logical or analytical thinking, but may derive their income through imaginative thinking, may become very good public speakers, writers, may become very good, again, people who are good with singing, because Mercury is speech, your voice. Fifth house represents creative self-expression. So a lot of mimicking skills and skills of speaking and singing are there naturally, but they, again, singing is actually really seen from Jupiter, Venus, and Moon. But Mercury gives a lot of interest in just speaking, doing your, making your work with speaking, making your hobbies with speaking or writing. So you can be a great poet, you can be a great writer, you can be a great public motivator, public speaker with this. But at the same time, these people may actually procrastinate a lot about how to raise their children. They're big procrastinators. They're like, okay, should I do this? Should I know this? Should I do this? Should I know this? How do I do this? How do I go there? How do I do? Like, if they pick up anything creative, there has to be support of Saturn here to push them, or support of Mars to push them to really do something. Okay, but really they derive their income through speaking, sales, anything to do with family business. They can also become stockbrokers and accountants here. Okay, especially with if Mercury rules the sign of Virgo in this case, then they can definitely become accountants and stockbrokers with this position. Let's say Venus controls your fifth house. If Venus controls the fifth house, go to the second house, interest in singing. They have this tremendous passion towards children. Their passion and love becomes children. They also become very good communicators. Their speech is very soft, and usually their speculative business will involve acting, will involve being in front of the camera, could involve being any kind of a stage play. But at the same time, they can actually open up a lot of restaurants. They can open up restaurants of not just normal food, but sweets as well, like bakery shops. They can do anything with designing. They can do anything with, designing, or even at the same time modeling. Because in order to be a model, your face has to be beautiful, okay, like mine. So Venus in the second house of face makes one person beautiful and makes one person be appreciated by others. And when it's a fifth house, shows that you may derive your income using your face and your beauty because it's a fifth house lord. Okay. Let's say Mars controls your fifth house, Mars goes into the second house, shows that your ability to make income will be very prominent and energized. You have this dynamic force within you to make money through speculative business. Now, that could be, again, could be acting, could be like being a fighter, could be, you being in martial arts, or you could be, being this very motivating individual who speaks with authority and wants to motivate others. And that becomes your fun and hobby, because Mars is an authoritative, energetic, planet. Sits in the second house of voice and speaking and speech, controls the fifth house of speculative business. You can be a very dynamic speaker and motivator, because you can become this like coach of uplifting people. You can become a great banker, great stockbroker with this. And also you may follow into the footsteps of family lineage as well. Again, you may also follow, what your brother has done. Like if you have a brother, what he is doing, he may help you with what you're doing. He may help you develop your skills in what you're doing. But Mars here also aspects the fifth house, because it's with this fourth aspect. Shows that your income will be driven through speculative things. No matter what you do, at one point, your final income will be driven through speculative business and through, a speculative means, whether it's in banking, arts, media, or even in engineering. You're going to be doing it in a speculative way, meaning your own business. Okay. Let's say Jupiter controls your fifth house, goes into the second house, shows a great poet, great writer, great public speaker. You want to energize people and you want to guide people through your voice, through what you say. Okay. And here it also shows that you may actually work in banking. You may work in banking, you may work as a stockbroker, financial analyst, financial advisor, because Jupiter is an advisor. Okay. So although, this may not be such a creative thing, but at the same time, you are guiding people through your speaking. You're telling people, invest here and don't invest here, save money here, don't do this here. So you're guiding people. At the same time, these people can also own restaurants, because Jupiter actually represents clothing, restaurants, business as well, because it represents food as well as a certain karaka. Okay. Let's say Saturn controls your fifth house. Saturn goes into the second house. When Saturn goes into the second house, what this really shows is that you felt responsible regarding children, but at the same time, anytime you try to do your work regarding, speculative business, regarding your self-expression, it just was very hard for you to do. And even in the family, you had a lot of pressure to take upon family responsibility from very early age, yet at the same time, you just felt like you want to run away. Like you just felt like, I can't do this. And usually these people shine later on in life. And also what Saturn does, it restricts you from your wealth. So being the fifth house of education and being the fifth house of, dynamic self-expression, it kind of puts this burden upon you where the person might actually run away from home and not face those responsibilities till they're later on in their 20s and 30s. That's when Saturn helps them, and here money comes and goes. Like Mars and Saturn shows that money either is restricted or money comes and goes, flow of money. So banking and speculative business is seen from that, because money comes and go in this situation. So, but here with the Saturn ruling your fifth house really shows that you may be very strict and determined about what you do in life. But at the same time, what this can also show, Saturn being in the second house, that one has tremendous amount of determination and work ethics to make their dreams come true regarding their speculative business. Because Saturn is focused, Saturn is, being disciplined and organized about things. So you can become a very good financial banker or financial analyst, and at the same time, you may actually become a great businessman with this position. And especially I've seen like people in real estate development with this position, because of the fact from second house, Saturn aspects the fourth house, so it impacts that. And if it's exalted, it really shows somebody who can be a great builder, who maybe takes upon their family land or becomes a farmer even with this position, where they harvest the farm, harvest the family business, and reap the results from that. But again, Saturn is a slow moving planet, so things happen slowly. Even in the creative realm, you will find your way slowly. Okay. So guys, this was my analysis of fifth lord in the second house. If you're new to my channel, subscribe below. And if you want to know again where your fifth lord is placed and all the books and report on astrology, for that, check out the links here. And otherwise, we're going to see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.